Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. It's been a little while, as many people have reminded me over the last year, but we're back at it. It only took a global pandemic for me to get my act together and get back on the air, so I'm super excited to be here. I'm also super nervous. For any of you who have streamed before, going live is always quite nerve-wracking, so customary fix my own levels in the microphone and the headset. There we go. Bear with me for a couple of reasons. First of all, haven't streamed for a while. Second of all, this is a new stack I've got set up for today. So if there's any audio issues, any video issues, please shout out in chat. And I think we just have to make ultimate sacrifices to demo guys today because, it's a new VM, new machine, new everything. So let's just see what's going to go wrong with it. Hey. But thank you everyone for joining me. I'm really super excited to be getting back on the horse. And of course, it'd be remiss of me not to say I hope you're all safe and I hope you're all well. We've got we're in some interesting times right now, so hope you and your loved ones are safe, well, and happy at the moment. So today, I'd like to have a look at Elttam's. I should have pulled the tweet up. Twitter, Elttam. Elttam is a fantastic security outfit based in Melbourne, Australia. And my internet's not working in the VM. Good start. DNS. It's always DNS, isn't it? Let's try again. Elttam Twitter. Oh, come on. There we go. If in doubt, DNS, exactly. So Elttam put out a couple of CTF challenges that they had put together for a couple of conferences some years back. They're hosted at libctf.so, which is the best domain name I've ever seen. So I have not looked at these. I have pulled them down and got them up and running because the internet connection at the place that I'm sheltering in for COVID-19 doesn't have the best upstream. So I'm actually streaming today over 4G. So thank you, not sponsored by Telstra, but thank you Telstra for dishing out the free COVID-19 data for the month. We're going to be using that to get our bits on the air. So I've already pulled down these Docker images on a hardwired connection, so I wouldn't have to pull them down over 4G. But beyond pulling them down, I have not looked at them yet. All I've literally done is click through these, as we'll do in a second, and run a for loop over Docker pull. So these are all Docker images that anyone can pull down and have a look at. And all I've done is literally just pull them down. I haven't even run them to see if they work. So I should have done that, but I didn't. So, libctf.so, looks like it's a series called Insatiable Birdie. 8 challenge series, web, easy to moderate. I like the sound of easy to moderate. 8 challenges here, and looks like that's all that Elttam has put up so far. I'm super keen to get into them. And if we look at the first one, do we get a name here? Yeah, we've got birdie-red challenge, birdie-orange. So, unlike Rop Emporium, let's see if we can do these in order. So we go red, orange, yellow. Is it Roji Biv? Nope, silver. Of course, it's not Roji Biv. And through we go. So each of them say they've got an overview, a title, category is web. They give you the flag. So it looks like this is the shortest stream ever. We can all go home. This is apparently a trivial challenge. I like the sound of that. And Elttam is saying to simply do Docker run, pull some stuff off Docker Hub, or optionally build the Docker image yourself. Okay, so we got source code. Let's see how we go without looking at this source code. But we know we've got source code there if it's meant to be used. In fact, if any of the Elttam crew are in chat and are willing to out themselves as being Elttam crew, if you know that these CTF challenges, if I should be reading the source code, let me know. But otherwise, we'll try to not look at source code. So we've got Docker run for each of them, and I've just literally pulled down. You can see I've actually got them all highlighted because I just copy pasted and pulled down all the images. So What have we got? We got a web challenge trivial, a web challenge trivial, web trivial, crypto medium, web easy, crypto medium, great. Bunch of crypto challenge. Lovely. Thank you, Elttam, for that. GG, good stream, goodbye. I'm hoping command control, I can barely read that text here. Command control, hopefully is the stream okay? My second monitor shows we're okay. Hopefully we're not offline yet. No drop frames yet, that's good. I meant because of the flag, yes. Great to have you all here, let's all go home. Let's give it a go. Fairy, I can barely, sorry everyone, usernames are hard to read at this distance. I need to, okay, how about this? For everyone on stream, is the chat text on the screen a nice size? Source code wasn't. Okay, thank you, Menz. Let's not look at the source code. Yes, Wolf, same attitude to crypto. Yuck. How are we going for text size in Chrome here? How are we going for text size in my shell? How's the text size on chat? Should any of them go up at all? Yeah, it's fine. All right. Stream looks good. Okay, please do yell out if anything can be tweaked. Size looks good. I'm gonna see if I can put the size up here. Yeah, that helps me. I was having trouble reading that. In fact, I could just do the old-fashioned pull my laptop towards me. That's what I probably could do. Barney, what beer is on hand tonight? So it's a bit early for me. I'm sure it's 5 o'clock somewhere or whatever the rule of thumb is. But for later on, I've got a couple of furfies and I've also got an amazing How's It Gozen. I can't remember who makes it. Bent Spoke, How's It Gozen. Beautiful, like a goza, like a saltwater sour. So I've got my choice between the just garden variety furfies or a How's It Gozen later tonight. Everything's a little fuzzy. Yeah, at Wolf. Resolution is low, bitrate is fairly low because I'm going up over 4G and I didn't want to blow the cap all in one go, so hopefully it will do the trick, but I do appreciate it's probably not what we would like. Anyway, beers, enough of the beers. Thank you, Elttam, for these challenges. Well, you know what? Let me hold my thanks until we actually give them a go. But let's get into birdie-red, hey? So what we need to do for birdie-red for the first one is docker run blah-de-blah, sudo -g docker run. And it looks like it's starting up from my cache nicely. So now, in terms of my stack, which, as I said, probably have problems with, but we're running in a VM here. This is in the same VM. So now if I go 127001 port 80, was it port 80? Yeah, it was published on port 80. There we go. So we've got our victim up and running here. But here is my Docker container with my tooling in it. And I probably should have brought my tooling up before the stream, but hey. I did fix this last night, but didn't bake it into the... Actually, I didn't fix it in the image, I just worked around it. Burp problems, let me just Java... Try to not eat all my RAM setting. Opt, burp suite pro. So we got burp, opt, burp, chromium. Barney, Bent Spoke Brewery in Canberra, come drink it locally. Bent Spoke's Canberra, is it? Awesome. That's, sorry to everyone in Canberra, that's one good thing in Canberra then. Sorry everyone. Don't hate me. Yeah, I'd love to, Barney. Let's enjoy a couple of brews together one day, hey? Once this is all over with. Yep, chromium in this container is busted, so let's use Firefox, no, remote-p. Nope, that's not what I want. I want Firefox, no remote-p. We'll create a new burp profile. Don't need the burp update. Next finish. Bear with me while I just plumb my browser up to my burp. How was everyone's quiet weekend indoors going, by the way? While I fuss for a second. Oh gosh, this machine is slow. Oh, come on. Burp is at port 8000. I always get confused. 8080. Men's is 31 hours into FF7 remake already. Beautiful. Love it. Lovely rain and storms here, so relaxing. Oh, that sounds nice. I think I'm in Brisbane at the moment where I think it just feels like we're due for a storm. It's been a bit of a sticky old day. Alright, so now I should be able to go 172.18.01. And we should have, here we go. Okay. Inebriated alibis. Are you a peasant or a god? Engine X and Fusion Passenger. Looks pretty boring, so username. It's a couple of Zs. Okay, so welcome a couple of Zs. We can log out. We're just a peasant user, I see. So we did a post to log in. Username is ZZZZ. And we got a cookie, session data, looks like some JSON with our Zs in it. So we just send it to Dakota. Dakota's URL. This text here, oh, that looks horrible. Let's see what we can do about that. The UI font size, let's bump that up to 13. Will take effect when burp is restarted. I think it's worth restarting to fix that font size. That was horrible. Yeah, bad color combination, isn't it, Atwolf? Atwolf, is it worth getting a PS4 for the game? I don't have a PS4. I'm asking the exact same question as you. Yeah, Men's did buy it just for that. That's right. Oh man, I loved FF7 when I was a wee lad. So I expect I'll be getting a PS4 one day. I mean, does anyone... I have heard that it's like... I thought Sony had 12 months exclusivity for it. Like, I've got an old Xbox One. I've got a Switch. I don't know if it's coming to Switch. I mean, I don't really have a gaming PC. I'd probably, if I wanted to enjoy it as it's meant to be enjoyed, be best off getting a PS4. But if it comes to Xbone, maybe I'll end up just playing it on Xbone. A few people have bought a PS4 just for the game. Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show, like, that exclusivity window, it's worth it, isn't it? Sony's selling machines just for this game. All right, let's take a step back. Let's log out. Let's try that again. Username, a couple of Zs. Here's our... This is looking much nicer now. It's still a bit small, but hopefully it's okay. You know, I think I need to put this font size up separately. Everyone, the font size in Burp's response, is that okay? Yeah, let me know. I mean, I can bump that up as well. You know what, I'm just going to do it. Where is it? Display, HTTP message display. Let's get this up to 13. Watch me not put those things on my pre-stream checklist and have to do it every time I start a stream. He says, pretending he's going to actually stream more often these days. You know, for a trivial challenge, this sure is taking us a while, isn't it? No! I'm not downloading Burp over 4G. I mean, it's i3, but The way that Bert pops its windows in i3 is you go to click this next button and then just boop, in comes the do you want to update window, and the next button for downloading is right under your cursor. Can I get rid of this? You know what? This update window is just going to workspace 4. We can just leave it hang out by itself. Justin streaming would have made a killer April Fool's joke. Yeah, but no one would have turned up. I guarantee if I'd said I'm streaming on April 1st, no one would have turned up. Actually, that would have been really fun as well to still stream and put it on YouTube and be like, I told you all. But it would have been also very lonely. Alrighty, log out. Let's try one more time. Let's see. This text is looking much nicer for me. I'm getting old. I can't read anymore. Alrighty. Post, login, response. It's setting a cookie called session data with some URL encoded stuff, and it's JSON, but I just want to see the JSON. So there we go. Username, ZZZZ. So when we log in, we're literally just getting JSON in our cookies that says what user we are. So I'm guessing we need to be not a peasant user, so I'm guessing we need to be admin, and I'm guessing it's not going to let us, and I'm guessing we're going to have to poke it into that cookie. Yep, cool. So when we post something, we get a cookie back with something in it, being our username. When we try and log in as admin, which I'm guessing we need to do to get the flag, we get a response. We get redirected to login error equals no access for this user. And we don't get the cookie. And if we put angle bracket stuff in here, no cross-site scripting. So anyway. All right, so the challenge is we have to log in as admin, but we can't use the string admin. I wonder if we did admin whitespace. No, admin whitespace is still just a peasant user. So if we go admin, turn on burp intercept, log in, we're going to be posting admin to the back end. So we go action, do intercept the response to this request, forward that, and if we hack in admin right here, we don't even have to muck with the cookies in our browser's cookie jar. We can just sneak a little N in here, and we should be logged in as admin now. There we go. Welcome admin, and here's our flag. So that was a nice, easy first challenge. OJ, good luck with it. Hey OJ, good luck with the stream. Can't stick around. Want to stick your head in? Thanks for popping your head in, dude. Really appreciate your support. About freaking time I got back into it. Yes. I'm the one who knocks. It's a bit late in Fresno. Do I think I know who's in Fresno tuning in, and if it's who I think it is, thank you so much for joining. So good to have you here, dude. Are we rolling back cookies? No, we just get bent. So for anyone who doesn't know, OJ broke get system, but I'm really good at rolling back cookies. So that's our first flag down. Yippee. So that was birdie-red. Done. I should read up on that technique. If I just search Google for cookie rollback. Yeah, if you could, OJ, if you could send me a link, that'd be great. Okay. Birdie-orange, level 2. So we'll kill this image here. Peace out, OJ. So good to have you here. Take care, eh? Give the family a squeeze for me. So let's do birdie-orange, sudo-g, docker run, blah-de-blah. We'll wait for it to start up. But if we just start hitting refresh on this, what's it going to do? We're going to have our old cookie in the cookie jar. Hopefully that doesn't muck with things. Actually, no, while it's starting up, let's trash our cookie jar. Storage. What is everyone's current favorite cookie jar manager extension for either Chrome or Firefox? It's been a while since I've had to muck with cookies, but it's always painful every time I do. What are people using these days to mess with their cookies as an extension? All right, cookie deleted. Private mode. You're not wrong. Oh look, we're already admin. Let's do that the proper way. All right. Are you a peasant or a god? Username. This is a different level. So we just totally accidentally solved this with our old cookie. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. If we just put in garbage, we get just a peasant user. If we log out and we try and log in as admin, no access for this user. So when we post, we didn't send any cookies up. Username is admin. Get that back. When we post garbage, we didn't post any cookies. But we got back what looks to be identical JSON. Yep. And a session hash. But I'm guessing that session hash doesn't matter according to our accidental solving of this challenge. Let's do the same trick again. Username ADMI. Intercept. On. Login. Action. Do intercept. A response to this request. Forward. We sneak in the final character of the word admin to the session data cookie. Ooh. Okay. For Chrome, @Wolf uses Cookie Inspector. Cool. I'll have to. It's in the F12 console. Nice. I'll have to look into that @Wolf. All right. I think based on our accidental solving. Okay, so we edited this response to have session data being that, and the session hash we left alone. Is this a web or a crypto challenge, by the way? Web. Trivial. I'm guessing the solution is that we have to omit this cookie. Where do we get redirected to? To the home page. So here's our 2 cookies in our redirect. We didn't get told to drop our cookies, but we also didn't get any sort of... So I wonder if we just need to remove the session hash. So let's send this to repeater. And get rid of the session hash cookie. And there we go, welcome admin. So yeah, when we go and modify this cookie here to have that value we want in it, if we also send this session hash, I don't know what it is. But when we send it, we get turned around. We get told, yeah, nah, your session data JSON object doesn't match your hash. But if we just don't send the hash, then the backend just listens to that modified cookie. So I'm guessing if we wanted to, we could go and have a look at the code to try and find out why it's doing that. But I'm also told that I shouldn't be looking at the code by mens. So let's leave that as homework. If anyone wants to jump in and find out why that's what the challenge is, that you need to get rid of that hash, give it a go. Jump into the code. Just go to libctf.so. Follow the bouncing ball with this second birdie here, the orange birdie. And the code is here, CTF birdie-orange on GitHub by the looks of it. And let me know what you find. But we will, in the meantime, jump into challenge number 3, birdie-yellow, web, trivial. And you know what? Let's go and clear out our cookie jar this time so we don't accidentally solve it again. Has that done it? Yes, that looks like it's done it. Alrighty. Number 3, birdie-yellow. Su-g docker run blah de blah. Wait for that to come up. Alright, inebriated alibis. Nothing in the home page. We go to log in. So I think there was more text here before asking if we're a peasant or a god, so that's gone now. Let's log in with some noise. welcome, just a peasant user I see. So what happened? We posted the username being a whole bunch of Zs, and we got back session data. Looks like the exact same JSON object. Session hash, we don't know what that is. And we got redirected to the home page. There we go. Alrighty, let's send that to repeater this time. Okay, so there's our welcome ZZZZ. If we just change this to ZZZZ2 and send, it doesn't respect our cookie. If we get rid of the session hash, having done that, it also doesn't respect our cookie. Okay. I wonder if this session hash is if we're supposed to find out that this is MD5 or SHA-1 or something that corresponds to what we put in. What I like to do in terms of figuring out which hashing algorithm something is to give it the string password. Then we get what the hash looks like, and then we throw it at Google and see if Google knows that this is a hash of something. Now we need to import our birth certificate. Let's just jump over to here. Oh, didn't match any documents. Maybe it's not a known hashing algorithm. Let's have a look and see if when we send this to repeater, we get back 3E86. If we send it again, we also get 3E86. Yeah, it says try hash lookup. Is that a command line tool or is that crackstation.net? Okay, thank you. Let's chat pause due to scroll. I don't know what Twitch is doing. I don't know if I ever looked at what video that was, Barney, but I think he said, "Hey, was this you?" And I just absolutely shat bricks and didn't watch the video ever. Crackstation. So all we're really trying to do right now is find out not what necessarily the plain text of this hash is, although maybe that would, if it was just a salted copy of the word password, that would help us. But really we're trying to find out what is it that the server's doing to our string password to come up with this cookie. Maybe this is like all of this JSON hashed. I just don't know. So let's copy our hash and go to Crackstation. I'm not a robot. And crack hashes. Not found. Yeah, Wolf, it could be hashing the entire thing, you're right. A hash of this length is, I mean, I'm terrible at eyeballing hashes. What could this be? Let's read bang SHA-256 sum ASDF. Read bang echo foo into SHA-256 sum. Okay, so this hash is the length of a SHA-256 sum, which is how many bytes long? So it's 32 bytes. Would that be right? It's a 32 byte hash, which could be SHA-256, or it could be any other algorithm that hashes to a 32 byte value. Let's toss this entire URL encoded blob at SHA-256 sum with no trailing new line. SHA-256 sum. So that hash does not match this hash. 3E86 is what the string password goes to. We're looking for something that matches that. So the URL encoded version of all this mess into SHA-256 sum doesn't match. Try URL encoded decoded too. Good work, Menz. That was my next thought. So we'll send that to decoder. Grab that. Echo-n that into SHA-256 sum. 89. That also doesn't match. Let's try with the new lines for both of them. Doesn't match. Also doesn't match. Can't burp. Just hash that. Yes it can. Thank you, Atwolf. It does have a whole bunch of hashing algorithms in here that we could have tried if we were half smart. Thank you for the reminder. What else could this be? I mean, okay, this hash, could it just be hex data? Let's send that to decoder. Decode as ASCII hex. Nah, that doesn't look that meaningful to me. What is the what does the empty string give us in terms of a hash? Error equals no. What about the trick we tried before? Admin white space. I mean, because admin doesn't. Yeah, we can't log in as admin. Admin white space. Welcome admin white space. Just a peasant user. So that didn't work. Admin double quote. Oh, ooh. Aha. Okay, get this. I submitted admin double quote, and what did I get back? I got back this session data, which I bet will be illegal JSON. Decode as URL. There we go. We've got 2 double quotes here. Boop, boop. So, we probably got back a legal hash or a valid hash for this garbage data, right? So we did admin double quote, which is the highlighted part here. This last double quote we get for free as part of the server constructing our JSON for us. Now, what if we did admin double quote, comma, double quote, foo, double quote, colon, double quote, ignore, right? So if we did this here, and the server put that in between these 2 double quotes that are just outside the highlighted region, that we'd have a JSON object that says our username is admin, comma, foo is ignore. Our username would be admin, and we would get a valid hash back, right? So if we just copy this here, username, admin double quote, comma, double quote, foo, double quote, colon, double quote, ignore, login. Hey, there we go. We're admin. Because what the server did for us was it just used dumb concatenation to smash this JSON object out. Yeah, username, admin, foo is ignore, and we got a valid hash for it. So we're done. Next challenge. Does that make sense to everyone? Anyone got any questions about that? Because that's a little bit of a curlier one. Anyone got any queries? Yeah, so do I, Atwolf. JSON injection is something that I'm really interested in. Well, I've been interested in for a while, actually. And I've used it. I've found some nice bugs with it. Yeah, like, because the problem was that the server was going username input, attacker input, and it was literally like if we think it was constructing a string. So we'll put that in single quotes plus attacker input plus that, right? And we could I call it injecting arbitrary key value pairs. I mean, I don't normally use this to get around blacklists like this. What I'll normally do is use it to do, and this might be coming up, who knows. I'll normally use it to construct a object that looks more like this. Username is Justin, then I'll put in double quote, comma, double quote is admin, double quote, true, comma, and then I need to kind of eat the trailing double quote, so I'll just then do like the foo bar, and then let the server put in the double quote end object, and I use it to inject arbitrary key value pairs. And I've actually used this not just in CTF. I don't think I've actually used it in a CTF, but I've used it in Anger in a similar fashion. JSON injection, URL query string injection. You know, where there's a system that's connecting to a southbound API to do like post to like HTTP internal / do thing question something equals my input, right? What I'll do is my input, I'll actually put in an ampersand, delete object, or action equals delete object. I've used that to do some nasty stuff, and I've also used path traversal in the like RESTful URL to do some awful stuff. So yeah, I mean, when you're constructing strings to, when you're constructing a URL query string, don't let people bring their own ampersands and question marks and .. slashes to the party. When you're constructing JSON, don't let people bring double quotes to the party. As a developer, you should be creating full objects in memory and then serializing to JSON. Wherever you see something like this, if you're doing source code review, that's a smell. That's a smell that you shouldn't be just smashing JSON together like that, willy-nilly. So yeah, I like that one too. That's super cute. Moving on. Crypto. Let's not move on. Let's just talk about JSON injection for another hour and then call it a stream. Yuck. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute breather. If anyone wants to go and grab themselves an ice cream or go dance in the rain for a little bit, please do. But we'll be back in a few minutes to tackle the crypto challenge. And we are back for birdie-silver, 1, 2, 3, level 4, is that right? First one was sneaking in the word admin when we're not supposed to. The next one was sneaking in the word admin when we're not supposed to and removing the hash. This was the fun JSON injection one, and now we're up to birdie-silver, level 4. Crypto, medium, joy. Sudo g docker run. Let's clear that cookie jar again. Alrighty, here's the home page. Nothing too interesting. Login, bunch of Zs. Just a pheasant user, I see. Find a way to log in as admin. So we did a post with username is ZZZZ and response session data, the JSON with which we are familiar, and the session hash. I wonder if this is the guess the hashing algorithm one. If we go ZZZZ double quote. Yeah, so it's handling the double quotes nicely this time. What if we do our ZZZZ, send a repeater. The hash that comes back is 68F3, 68F3. We always get the same hash back. So if we use a username of password, grab this hash, search Google for it, no hits. If we use CrackStation again, we're still not robots. We get no hits. So maybe it's not guessed the hashing algorithm, unless it's the same as last time where this whole blob gets hashed. So let's grab this word password. And what does it become? This mess. Again, that looks like the length of SHA-256 sum. So if we echo -n, like surely it won't be password or else CrackStation and Google would have told us about it. SHA-256 sum. New match. What if we get, again, this whole mess here? Echo-n that into SHA-256 sum. Does not match. We'll include the new line. Does not match. Let's URL decode it. Does not match. Let's include the new line. Still doesn't match. What was our post data? So username equals. Yeah. What about this? What if that is what's getting hashed? Does not match. We'll include the new line. Does not match. What if we do the admin white space? Or just do admin. We haven't tried that yet. Nah. We did a post of username equals admin. We got back no access for this user. If we follow that redirection and we just go and hack in. Oh no, we didn't get our cookies. What if we go admin? And we send a repeater and play with that. Username is add. We'll just send that first of all. Here we get welcome admin. If we go admin, it doesn't respect that cookie. If we delete the hash like we did for the earlier level, it also doesn't respect it. So it looks like we need to find a way to get a correct hash. And it does say it's a crypto challenge. But let's, just for fun, let's go admin ampersand. Let's just play around with this. Admin percent. Admin ampersand. Admin single quote. Admin semicolon. Admin bang. No, it just makes it extra excited right there. What about admin, and we'll turn on intercept and put a null byte at the end. %00. Welcome admin. I'm guessing there's a null byte on that page. Yeah, that looks like a null byte there to me. Where is my welcome admin? Here it is. Admin. ADMIN null byte. So the null byte, we're still not admin. You can tell I'm trying every way possible to not have to do crypto, right? What else could it be? Here's our post. Username equals password. We get these two. We could, if this hash construction is the exact same as the previous level, which I don't think it was. Yeah, no, so password on the previous level came out as 3E86. On this level it's coming out as 83AB. If they came out as the same, we could have maybe used the previous level as like an oracle, but I don't know if that's cheese. I'm not sure if that's the way that it would have been meant to have been solved. But you can't solve it that way anyway, so that's no good. What else could this be? We could do the thing where we just send that multiple times and see what happens. So the hash comes back as 83AB. Now it's still 83AB. If we modify the second username, it changes. If we modify the first one, it doesn't change. So it's probably just throwing away our first one and using the second one. It wouldn't be using the first one to check. Okay, it wouldn't be looking at this to go like, is this admin? So we'll make that be password 2. Make the second one be admin, thinking this might be the one that it uses to check we're not trying to log in as admin. This might be the one it uses to manufacture the cookies. Well, no, we get kicked out. No access for this user. That's not crypto, but it's worth a try. What else could it be? About that array syntax that sometimes does fun things. Oh, that hash changed. What is this? Okay, so when we do this, when we post it with username bracket equals password, the JSON we get back looks weird. The username is still a string, and the string is left square bracket, actual quote, password, actual quote, right square bracket. That's probably not useful for us, is it? What if we do username bracket equals admin? It manufactures a cookie, but that's probably going to mean our username is literally square bracket, double quote, admin, blah, blah, blah. Let's log out of here. Let's username admin, proxy, intercept on, login, put the square boys there, turn intercept off. Yeah, welcome square bracket, admin, square bracket. Find a way to log in as admin. So that didn't do anything for us, but that's still, I mean, that's what I'd call interesting behavior. So if we log in as admin double quote and look in the proxy, what does our cookie look like? Man, we're just playing at the moment. We still need to find out how to actually. I think it's being a crypto challenge. We need to find out how to manufacture these hashes ourselves. But let's just keep playing around and see if there's fun behavior at the edges. So I just sent this to decoder. Decode as URL, and yeah, it's admin whack double quote. At Wolf, the JSON library is probably building list automatically, and if you provided another entry for username, it would do both. Yeah, probably. Right, yes, because we were doing the thing before we did like username equals foo and username equals bar. So we do username equals admin 1, copy, paste, comma, paste, admin 2. Hang on, what did I put that comma for? No, that's ampersand. Yes, great. Send that. And we've probably got like a stringified list in here still. Decoder's URL. Yeah, so username is double quote. Okay, so username is bracket, whack quote, admin, whack quote, comma, whack quote, admin 2, whack quote, square bracket. Yeah, so Wolf, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what you were saying. That's not at all surprising that it happens, but cute. Could be. This could be useful for one down the road. This could be useful for maybe the next web challenge. So we'll keep that in mind. But as far as the crypto challenge goes, I'm not sure it's actually helping us too much. What if we change the body encoding? It looks pretty dang similar to me. In fact, the hash is the exact same, so that's a good way to see that it is the same. What if there's a burp extension that lets us turn it into JSON. I'm going to install the burp plugin. I'm going to go to the old privacy screen while I dig through my burp plugins because I forget what's in there. So Bear with me for a second while I pull in a burp plugin. Content type converter, that's the one I wanted. Where's my OBS? There it is. Stream. Wolf loves the privacy screen. I know, it's great, isn't it? I get that just breath. I'm like, oh, I can use my computer and no one's looking over my shoulder for just a few seconds. Good to see you, Stephen. Long time. Yeah, it has been a long time. Nick. Sorry, Nick. I'm going to call you Nick if that's okay. If it's not, Nikola Tesla. There we go. Reading Twitch names at small font is sometimes hard. Sorry about that. I'm pleased to be back. Pleased to be back. Good to have you here. All right, so I've got this plugin called Content Type Converter now. Let's go back. I don't want to get. That's what I want. Let's just go back to the plain old case of username equals admin1. That'll do. Convert to JSON. So we can go post and it just dresses this up to be JSON for us. Missing parameter friend. Okay, so it doesn't like the JSON, and it looks like as well. If we'd gone like username is ZZZZ, we get the hash and whatnot. If we go username 2, we get missing parameter friend. So it didn't like the JSON encoding. It's probably also not going to like the XML encoding. I know I don't like XML encoding, so no, it's not happy with that. Barney loves the privacy screen where he accidentally spilled his password. I think you're trolling, but I did also spill a password once, and it was a useless password for a local piece of kit that I changed straight away after the stream. But yeah, thank you for reminding me, Barney. So, JSON encoding, no bueno. XML encoding, no bueno. What else could this be? What could they be wanting from us? Well, I think technically, Barney, anything I did on stream was a while ago at this stage. Let's be honest. There's no recent stream happenings from me on a YubiKey. Ah, yeah, the old YubiKey streams. I'm still using the YubiKeys. I love, for anyone who doesn't have their SSH keys and GPG keys loaded up on a YubiKey, get amongst it. That's a cool quarantine project. I mean, it's GPG. I mean, if you're not angry at the world right now, get involved with something to do with GPG. It'll make sure you're angry at the world right now. What could this be? Wolf has been wanting to set up YubiKey for SSH, but doesn't work on enough systems that could use it. Right, okay, so Wolf, you're saying you need to move between machines and you couldn't bring your key with you. Yeah, fair. For that, like, my really important key is on my YubiKey, and then for other machines, I just generate keys for that machine, even often GPG keys for that machine. So, I mean, to pierce the curtain a bit here, this VM for my stream actually has its own Justin@Tristram, and the email address I just set to be Justin@hostname. I got a bunch of these keys for me on different hosts, and they have a authentication type SSH key hanging off them as well. So this lets me, I could then, I mean, for anyone who wants to know gory details, my password manager is Pass for Unix. It's backed by GPG because I'm a masochist like that. By creating this GPG key for this machine, I could then go to my main machine and get all the passwords I need for Twitch and re-encrypt them to this machine's GPG key and move all my passwords that I need for streaming across to this VM. So, yeah, I have a GPG key for me on each machine that I need a GPG key on. I've got too much time on my hands, to be honest. Bitcoin CTF gory details are good. They are indeed. Welcome, dudes. So good to have you here. Yeah, so fair enough, Wolf. If you kind of have the same key on all your machines, you probably shouldn't be saying that too publicly. But also that's a fair reason to not to resist the YubiKey movement. But for me, yeah, all my important keys are on a YubiKey, and then all of my kind of secondary auxiliary machines, I often just put the keys on disk. And then when I burn that VM down, those keys haven't really been trusted in too many places, so it's pretty easy to unwind that operation. What's going on here? So for anyone who's tuned in the last few minutes, we're looking at Elttam's CTF challenges. I think I'm on the silver level. Yeah, Insatiable Birdie in silver. It's a medium crypto challenge, and I am truly stumped. I'm not going to use the royal we, because there are probably people on stream who know what to do and are doing the right thing and not spoiling it for me, but I don't know what to do. I got no idea. I think we need to, by the way, I just burped straight into the microphone. You're all welcome for that. Hope you're enjoying the hacker ASMR, by the way. I spent too much time yesterday perfectly EQing this mic, so hope you appreciate the hacker ASMR. I think we need to end up with JSON that has username be admin and a session hash that matches it. And I think I just need to think for a few minutes about things we haven't tried yet, rather than waffling and hoping something comes to me. So bear with me while I think. Or I can get distracted with that wolf and talk keys instead of doing crypto work. It's not single key per machine. It's more that unless... Yeah, I don't think Putty can work with a YubiKey. I think you're right there. And because of work, you're working from Windows. I am so sorry, dude. That's a bummer. You work through a jump host, so it can't pass YubiKey keys through the... Yes, you can. You totally can, dude. As long as you're coming from a box that lets you run an SSH agent, and that SSH agent will read the keys from your YubiKey, you totally can agent forward YubiKey based keys through a jump host, like SSH-A. It still works with YubiKeys. Having said, okay, so just so no one misunderstands that, don't go copying your keys up to jump hosts and putting your keys on disk on the jump host. Always use agent forwarding, but also only use agent forwarding when you need to. Don't forward your agent to every machine you SSH to. Windows didn't like it at all. Windows and okay, yeah, I mean, I think Windows and Putty just won't talk to YubiKeys anyway. But yeah, I mean, on a Unixy box and probably on Mac OS as well. I haven't used Mac for quite a while now. At least on Linux, SSH agent will happily forward a YubiKey based key. But yeah, Windows and Putty, good luck. Sorry, dude. That hurts. Username of ZZZZ, we get a hash of 68F3. If we put a null byte in there, we get a different hash. So it's not like we can trick the hashing algorithm into hashing admin and then putting a null byte to trick the security control, but to still give us a hash for admin. The null byte gets included in the hash. Oh, is this hash padding? God, please don't be hash padding. Oh, please don't be hash padding. Hey, look, that's cute. We get the Unicode null byte in there. This might be hash padding. But the thing about hash padding is I hate doing it, and it takes ages, and I always screw it up, and it's hard to tell how you're screwing it up while you're screwing it up. And if we don't have this dead to rights as a hash padding bug, I don't want to go through the hash padding dance. For anyone who doesn't know what hash padding attacks are, or hash extension, I think they're sometimes called. When you hash a string like ZZZZ, using so many hashing algorithms, like the SHA family fits into this attack, the MD5 algorithm fits into this attack. How those types of hashing algorithms work is like the hash internal state gets set to like its published initial state as part of the specification of the hashing algorithm. And then the hashing machine takes in the first block's worth of your plain text you want to hash, which is probably 128 bits or 256 bits or something like that. Takes in the first block's worth, it gets put into that hashing algorithm machine, the crank gets turned, math happens, and that state gets mutated into like state 1. And then the next block gets taken, fed into the machine, the handle gets turned, and state 1 gets mutated into state 2. And so on until you get to state N, and all your inputs consumed, and then that is your hash. The idea behind a hash extension or hash padding attack is you take the state that popped out of someone else's machine where they hashed secret some input, and that became state N, which became the hash. You take the hash and you initialize the hashing machine with that hash being a state, put some more data in, turn the handle and kind of churn out the next, it's not quite the next hash in the sequence, but you can produce, if you know the hash for secret and then some input, you can basically something like this produce the hash of secret, some input, a whole bunch of null bytes, and then like the number that goes on the end of the padding to take it out to the next block, and then your message can be tacked onto the end. And you can calculate the hash of that by knowing the hash of this, but without knowing the plain text secret. That might not, I mean, this doesn't smell like one of those challenges anyway. Maybe it is one of those challenges, because we theoretically, inside with these Zs here, we could calculate the hash of some Zs and then a whole bunch of nulls and then the end of the padding, and then our message could be a double quote, comma, double quote, username, double quote, blah, blah, blah. And if we provide 2 keys in this JSON object of username, and our second one gets picked up, that could solve the challenge. Well, if this is medium, hash padding doesn't. Depends who graded it. I mean, I'm gonna be cruel here. For like an Australian CTF, hash padding could be considered hard. For like an international CTF, it could very easily be considered medium. Could be padding because there's tools to work it out now. Yeah. Dang it. Dang it. Part of me wants to go and read the source code. Okay. Burn to all the Aussies, indeed, mens. Part of me wants to read the source code to get this dead to rights as being a hash padding bug, and if it is, I'll gladly do it. I'm hesitant to do it without knowing that that's what it is. Maybe we can start down the road and reconsider in 10 minutes if we want to keep doing it. I mean, how about vote in the chat? Do we keep thinking about what it could be? Or do we assume it's hash padding and just charge on ahead and see what we find? I'm going to put the fate of this in all y'all's hands. Men's and anyone else who works for Elttam, don't vote, because that's kind of mean, because then I'm going to go, are they saying that I should charge because it is hash padding, or are they saying I should charge because it's not hash padding and they want to see me so just men's and anyone else who works at Elttam, don't want to hear from you, don't do it. So Storm has never seen a hash padding attack. I'd love to do a hash padding attack. I'm just scared that it's not the right answer and we're going to get super confused and crash and burn. Yeah, would keep thinking. So we got a vote for charge. We've got a vote for Keep Thinking. Storm has never seen a hash padding attack, but I'm not going to count that as you saying I should charge. If you're saying I should charge, let me know. At Wolf wants to know what the most painful way forward is and to do that. Fair enough. That would be to probably charge. Barney, you already voted. Don't try and confuse me. Oh, okay. Charge into a blind. So you're adding to you're appending to your vote. You want me to charge, and you want me to do it without looking at source code. Fair enough. Tom K would like to. Okay. All right. All right. Let's do hash padding. You know what? I'm going to take it. Okay. I'm going to take it. Oh man, if I take a quick 2-minute breather now, yours are going to think I'm looking at the source code. All right. How about this? I'm going to take a quick 2-minute breather, but I'll leave my screen as is, and we'll come back and give it a go in a second. So let's do that. I'm going to take a quick breather. Yeah, I can't do hash padding at the moment. I need to just give me a minute. Just give me a minute, everyone. And we're back. All right, so I know there's a good wiki article on hash padding. Let's read that to get us into the swing of it. In case I didn't explain things well. So yeah, we can, given the hash of message 1, where message 1 might be something like secret concatenate message, we can calculate the hash of message 1 concatenated message 2 for an attack controlled message 2 without needing to know the content of message 1. MD5, SHA-1 and SHA-2 based on the Merkle Dam Guard, probably not pronouncing that correctly, construction are susceptible to this kind of attack. SHA-3 is not susceptible. That's good to know. So the fix for this for the developers in the crowd is basically use HMax, right? This here is a code smell. Wherever you see hash of secret concatenate message, and it's assumed that by using that hash or checking that hash that the producer of that hash must have known secret. That's a bad assumption, and that's the smell. And the fix is to use HMac. HMac is basically like double wrapping your hashing algorithm. What does HMac look like? Men says Bubbles blue, Buttercup green, and Blossom red. I don't know which colors are which, but yes, Bubbles, Buttercup, and Blossom. Hashmac. What does a hashmac look like? Yeah, so hashmac, given key and K would be your secret, M would be your message. It looks like this. You hash, then you take your key tick, where key tick is hash of key if K is larger than the block size, else K. So you optionally hash your key, and then it looks like you XOR it with OPAD, block-sized outer padding, and you take that there and concatenate it with the hash of, again, key XORed with iPad, concatenated with message. And so see, there's two H's. You basically double hash, like you do some hashing, and then you take the hash, and then you append it to something else, and then you hash it again. And that breaks the ability to do length extension attacks, and probably provides other crypto assurances that are well beyond me. I only know about length extension attacks because of CTFs. But yeah, this is a smell. Don't do this. And if you see this, go looking for bugs. Use HMac. So here's an example. The good old waffle or pancakes example. Given this, which is a URL query string, given the hash of that, I'm guessing with a secret prepended being this, we can append ampersand waffle equals liege, and yeah, it ends up looking like this. So this is all of that, like this is what I meant when I said like a whole bunch of nulls followed by some number. It's padding, and it's actually hex 80 and then a bunch of nulls, and then I think this here OX228 is either the number of nulls or the number of hex 80 number of nulls, and this basically in crypto is that's padding, some algorithm of padding, PKCS something or other, I'm sure. So you get a whole bunch of line noise here, but that's alright, it just kind of gets tacked onto ego, and then you actually overwrite the waffle ego line noise with a new type of waffle, and you can generate the new hash. Crypto is miserable, yes. Blame people who work at Elttam for putting out a crypto challenge for ruining everyone's afternoon with a crypto challenge. Alright, this is probably going to be the last. If we get this, I think this will be the last challenge of the afternoon. Hash padding attack GitHub, where all good tools are born. No, not padding oracle attack. Hash length extension attack. Hex span. Hash pump, a tool to exploit the hash length something. Hash extender. I think I may have used that before. Let's find the one with the most stars, hey? 19 stars. Which has the most stars out of these three? 19, 831, 603. Looks like Hash Pump wins this contest. Looks old. It's C, which I mean it's fine. It just means if we need to make changes, it's going to hurt. So remember, we're guessing that this is a SHA-256 hash. I mean, SHA-256 fairly popular, and the length matches, right? So echo foo into SHA-256 sum, we get that, and that length matched this length here, yeah. Whereas SHA-1 sum, too short. SHA-512 sum, too long. MD5 sum, very scientific way of determining what hashing algorithm it is here, way too short. Based on the length, I think SHA-256 is our best bet. If anyone knows that there's another hashing algorithm with the same output length as SHA-256 sum, maybe let me know. But let's assume it's SHA-256. So here's the classic waffle ego. It says Python bindings. Interesting. Let's pull this down and build it and see what happens, hey? So we'll go to our Twitch, Elttam, git clone that bad boy. Build and run source code off GitHub. What could go wrong? What have we got? We've got a make file. Make. By the way, don't ever make code off GitHub and run code off GitHub on a machine you care about. Let's just make that clear. So again, gory details. I run a lot of things I do in Docker containers with very minimal information exposed to each one, with the idea being, if hash pump was malicious or vulnerable, it would be trapped inside Docker. And then again, on the machine I'm running, which, to pierce the veil again, I'm actually running on a Windows machine in a Linux VM. Man, I had to admit, after trying it, OBS just runs so much better on Windows, as does so much stuff. But so yeah, I'm running Windows 10 on the bare metal with OBS running much nicer, and then a Linux VM, and then Docker image. So we're inside, like, we're behind 6 proxies basically. At least it's not code from Stack Overflow. That's true. At least it's not code from, what was it? SourceForge as well. I mean, yeah. All right, so we've run make. What did we actually get out of that? Do we get a binary hash pump? Looks like we did. -H, there we go. Hash pump generates strings to exploit signatures vulnerable to the hash length extension attack. Okay, here's an assumption I'm making. I'm going to assume that this hash is just over the bit in the middle. Maybe a bad assumption to be making, but that's what I'm going to go with. So, with an input of ZZZZ, hash pump, what do we have to give it? The signature from a known message. So the signature from a known message is this. The data from the known message, I'm going to go ZZZZ. I think it's asking for the data we know. We obviously don't know any prepended secret. -A additional, the information you would like to add to the known message. Let's just go and add YYYY. Key length, the length in bytes of the key being used to sign the original message with. So what this means is we need to know how long. Where is my wiki hash padding attack? -K, key length. It wants to know how long secret is. Why would that matter? Because it's based on the length of secret plus the length of message that determines... Remember back when I was talking about blocks? Yeah, the first block, which, I mean, ZZZZ is so small, there's only one block's worth, but that first block gets mixed in with the initial state of the hash algorithm specification initial state to produce state 1, and then we keep stepping through each state until we get to the last one. When we get to the last one, there's probably not a whole block remaining of text ready to go into the algorithm. And even if there was, it probably gets padded anyway. We won't get into that. But there's a thing called padding, which looks like this. Enough padding will be added to the message on the way into the hashing algorithm so that there's a perfect, so the message is exactly of a length which is a multiple of the block size. And to ensure that we would know where padding starts and ends, it starts with hex 80, then it's nulls, and then it is, I'm thinking, the number of bytes of this entire mess of padding. So we don't know how long secret is, and that's a problem, because depending on how long it is, the original hashing that would have gone into the algorithm that we need to reproduce before we append our noise, the padding would change. These numbers at the end would change. So we're going to have to brute force how long the secret was, and we brute force it using -K key length, right? So if the secret was 8 bytes long, then here is the new hash for the message secret, unknown secret, plus ZZZZ, plus a mess of padding. And you can see this backtick here. If we run this into XXD, that backtick is actually hex 60 because there was probably 60 bytes of padding here. But if the secret was 9 bytes long, you can see that this changes here, and the hash did not change. So depending on how long the secret was, we basically need to brute force this byte. But the good news is, if we just go and slam this into this type of thing with a brute force of this byte here into... let's log out here. Let's log in as ZZZZ. Let's If we just start smashing it into here, we should see a response somewhere that actually is a successful login, where it says welcome ZZZZ, then a whole bunch of line noise, then YYYY. So the server gives us a really nice way to tell us if we have the correct padding here. Oh, yuck. Oh, this is gross. I wonder if it's worth actually doing this the mature way and using these Python bindings and automating that brute force, because otherwise we're going to be copy pasting stuff into burp and we're going to make a mistake and we're going to skip over the correct key length. Yeah, I think we should get hash pumpy and actually write a real exploit. I think that's just the safest way to be doing this. What is this called? It's silver. CD silver. Python 3 virtual environment. Let's create a new virtual environment. And then let's activate that virtual environment. pip3 install, was it hash pumpy? Hash pumpy. Yeah, pip install hash pumpy. We get some wheeze. What's it complaining about? Okay, we've got some GCC wheeze here. What's that complaining about? Python H, no such file or directory. Okay. Python dev, I think you're right, Atwolf. apt install python 3 dev. I'm going to go to the privacy screen here because this is the first time I'm using this password manager on this VM, so bear with me while I pull this password out. Okay, cool. All good. That worked fine. I just get nervous when I'm exercising things like password managers on streams. That's not good. Sudo apt update. My poor 4G data plan getting a workout today. Been a while since I updated that list. Yeah, Wolf. We're in a Docker image right now that I probably last built 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah. I mean, this image is called, I call it Jax, and it's basically just, it's kind of like my personal Cali, and it takes about an hour to build. And every time I build it, there just seems to be some sort of breakage that I need to tend to, so I tend to not build it too often. Jax created 7 weeks ago, so it's not that old. You can see it's a chunky boy too. It's like a 12 gig image. Yeah, Wolf, do it. It's such a handy tool, like to be able to, yeah, work with Docker. It's great. You like using full VMs? Yeah, I used to as well, and I still do. All my Windows stack, like my Windows lab, they're all, you know, snapshotted and whatnot, so I can pivot and point it to all sorts of different states that I need it to be in. But man, Docker's just, it's nice. You have the kit and the resource. Oh, okay, at Wolf, do you have like a bare metal hypervisor sitting in the corner, punching out heat all day? Do you have the luxury of living with a actual lab box, do you? Because I used to do that. Yeah, nice. I used to do that as well. And I used to just roast in Queensland with it running. Oh, it's in a data center. Nice. Yeah, okay, so you'd be dodging the heat thing. For me, yeah, I had it at home and I started traveling more, and it was really nice to move that whole stack onto my laptop so that I could travel with it, not have to worry about connectivity to it, not have to worry about latency to it. And everything was on my laptop, and you know, with just my laptop bag, I could have my lab with me. It was nice. But yeah, fair call. If you've got a lab in a data center, you don't need lightweight Docker. You can throw the world at your problems. Okay, now why doesn't it want to install hash pumpy? Archbishop, for Jax, I don't have Docker Compose. I have a mess of Python that runs it in the way that I like it to be run. And I can basically do Jax Twitch, and it will bring it up and map in just the Twitch directory. Whereas if I run Jax Visual Studio Code for when I want to find bugs in Visual Studio Code, which is one of my pastimes, it'll bring it up with all the stuff mapped in that I need to work with VS Code. And it'll also, you know, switch on things like, do I need X mapped into my container? Do I need to be able to run Chromium, which requires a special seccomp profile that switches on that kind of stuff? For those in the channel who realized I'm exposing X to my Docker images, and that's a great way to break out of a container, you're right. I know someone who might be in this chat, might not be, who's working on that problem. But I just kind of accept that, yeah, if you want to exploit my container and crawl out over X, then I've kind of done all I can to stop you. And good on you. You can have my files. Why can't we install hash pumpy now? Do I need to reactivate, deactivate, and then reactivate? No module name pip. Alright, okay. Deactivate, throw away my virtual environment, and then remake the virtual environment. And then activate it. And then pip. Pip. There we go. When everything fails, just, you know, rmrf and git clone, right? We have hash pumpy. Man, I hope this is a hash padding extension bug, or I'm going to look really silly and be really angry. So now apparently we can import hash pumpy. Python 3 import hash pumpy. Yeah, looks good. And then we can do hashpumpy.hashpump hex digest. So I'm guessing that's what the hex encoded result of hashing key plus original data. Yeah, okay, so hex digest, got it. Original data is known data used to get the hash result, got it. Data to add, data to append. Got it. Key length. And this is the thing we have to brute force. So we should be able to... Let's see if we can recreate this mess with the Python library. What was it? Hashpumpy.hashpumpy? Hashpumpy.hashpump. And then we give it the original hash. And then we give it the original data. And then we give it data to append. And then we give it the length. And we previously guessed 9. 76, yep, that looks good. ZZ, hex 80, and a H at the end. Yeah, cool. Okay, so now we've got the ability to hash pump some stuff. Deprecation warning. Pi, size T, clean, sure thing, whoever's complaining about something being deprecated. Barney, can you paste the hash here, please? Barney, which hash would you like? This hash? That hash? I'd love to. I just need to know what you'd like from me. You know what? Let me give you this. Now my chat's freaking out. The first. I think you wanted this. Copy paste is broken with this VM at the moment. Barney, no, I can't. Sorry. I don't want to risk spilling something else on the clipboard on stream. Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, so we've got hash pumpy, all good. We need to brute force some stuff. So we've got the virtual env up and running. Let's vim play.py. We're just going to play around until we get something to work. User bin and Python 3 from hash pumpy, import hash pump. Probably going to need requests. We might need JSON, who knows. Okay. Let's just, let's get this working. Let's get something working with ZZZZ. R equals requests.get. What does requests cookie usage look like? Python cookie. The URL is going to be 172.18.01. That's not really what I wanted. Quick start. So cookies is a dictionary. Where's my VM? I'm in my VM. Cookies equals a dictionary. Session data. And I'm guessing we need to give this something URL decoded, and requests will look after it for us. Mistakes were made. And the hash is called session hash. So classy using Python 3 for exploit. I know, right? Nothing but the best here. I've actually started, let's all start doing the right thing. Let's all start using Python 3. Except for Pwn Tools. I don't think Pwn Tools plays nice with Python 3 yet, does it? But yeah, Python 3 all the way. Volker, you just typed that all. Volker, did you sit there Wow, well done. Thank you. Cookies equals cookies, and then print. I think is it just r.text? No module named requests. Pip reinstall requests. I thought requests was part of this. Okay, because I'm using a virtual environment, I think it is ignoring anything on the base image, on the base OS. Cool. Okay, so from Python, we can, given a username, and given a hash, we can log in. So let's wrap this up in a function. Def try access, and we're going to need a session data and a session hash passed into it. Session data, session hash, and then we will print. How will we know if we logged in properly? Just a pheasant user. If just a pheasant user is in r.text, let's return just a pheasant user in r.text. All right, so now we should be able to print try access, session data being this, and then session hash being this, and this should give us true. Yes, okay, because trying to access with that JSON and that hash is good. Whereas if we did ZZZ2, which breaks the hash, we get false. We weren't allowed to log in. Because it wouldn't have had the text just a pheasant user in the response. If we take this, send a repeater with a good username hash pair, we get just a pheasant user. If we break the hash by modifying the session data, yeah, we don't get just a pheasant user in the output. Cool. Okay. So now I think we need to, for I in range, assuming the secret is of length like from 0 up to 256, we need to do hash pumpy stuff. What does hash pumpy look like? Known hash, known thing we're appending, length of secret. So we'll copy that. But on admin, you won't get that message either, so we'll show as false. Correct, Barney, but we're not going straight for admin. We're still trying to log in as ZZZZ, a whole bunch of line noise, Y. So we should still get a true somewhere in here. So if I in range that, we want to length attempt. Let's not use for I. Let's for length attempt in range 256. Hash pumpy. Let's just print this. We don't need to do hash pumpy.hash pump. We just need to do hash pump because I imported it as hash pump up here. Length attempt is not defined. Length typo. Okay, so these are all tuples. Tuple with the first element being the hash, the second element being the new username part. Yeah, thank you, Bitcoin CTF. So hash pump gives us new hash, new username. So we'll just unpack that tuple, and then we will, if try access, session data looks like this. But instead of the ZZZ2, let's not use format strings here. Let's be super nasty. Let's do exactly what I said before to never do, right? Let's smash JSON together like this. The reason I don't want to use format strings is because we've already got curly brackets in here, and Python chucks a fit when that happens, and I don't want to figure out how to escape those curlies. Let's try to access with the new username and the new hash. With the new username, new username, because it looks like this. Z's our padding W's, and then our Y. New hash. And if the try to access succeeds, we will simply print length attempt, because we'll have brute forced the correct value of the length of the secret. We'll probably need to go from byte to string, won't you? Byte to string. Ooh. Yes, this here is a byte, so we need to hex 80. That's not ASCII. Hey Smash, good to have you here. Is that going to have issues if there's any double quotes inside the new username? Yes, but also no. I'm making an assumption that server side it is I don't think this buggy code is doing it probably is doing encoding. We did see that before. Great point, Smash. If we have issues, we'll consider that to be one of the reasons why there could be problems. For now, let's cross our fingers and hope that there's no double quotes in the padding, because the only place it could pop out would be this last byte here. Fingers crossed. I mean, if Elttam is evil, they certainly made the secret length perfectly. But then again, I think because we control this, we can probably work around that by adding an extra Z in here, and we'll bypass that edge case. So, yes, exactly right. Cross our fingers and hope is the strategy for most things. Atwolf said we probably need to cast this or turn this into a string somehow. True. So we've got byte array of that with a hex 80 and then a hex 18 and some Y's. We either need to get that to a string, or we need to hope that Python will take a byte string for a cookie value, which it probably won't. If we just encode UTF-8, bytes has no encode. Really? Do we need to decode it as UTF-8? UTF-8 can't handle hex 80. The CTF where the flag was stars. That is evil. How do we get this concatenated with some strings? Yes, certainly, exec plan. I'm going to dob in Atwolf. I think Atwolf, you've got a pretty good handle on what we're doing. Bitcoin CTF says use Ruby instead. No. Is it decode ASCII? I don't think ASCII is going to take this hex 80 smash. Yeah, ASCII won't take the hex 80. Will Python take 172.18.18.0.1, where cookies is foo bar, import requests, cookies equals starts with first arg must be bytes or a tuple of bytes, not string. Okay request. I'm guessing it's just angry about this. We can't give bytes there. Well put, Atwell. Thank you. I think you need to pass encode the string. Exec plan. Would you mind elaborating on what pass encode might mean? I mean, I was trying to decode UTF, decode ASCII. Yeah, I tried to decode UTF-8 and it's choking on byte 80. Cause yeah, that ain't any UTF-8 that I know of, apparently. I mean, we do have a whole bunch of hex. We do have nulls in there, but I'm guessing it's still going to end up angry. Whack X. Yeah. It's still going to end up angry about stuff, I think. Can you bytes to URL encoded format? The thing is, I don't want to URL encode it because I think requests will URL encode it for me. So I don't want double URL encoding going on. Map character, map ord. Oh, really? Really? Map, hang on, what do you want? Map character, map ord over that. And then we want to, what, list it? Ord expected string of length 1, but int found. Which map is unhappy here? Is it the middle one? Ord expected string of length 1, but int found. Do I need to turn this into a list or something? This can't be right, can it? Surely there's a grown-up way of doing this, everyone. Let's work this out. How do we make this concatenatable with strings so that requests can take it and then URL encode it for us? That's not what we want, is it? Decode UTF replace. So that doesn't work, but you reckon place as a string? Interesting. That doesn't look quite right. That underscore doesn't look right, and this whack x18 doesn't look like it came out in the wash properly. Hold on. That is correct syntax, yeah. Ignore. Actually, you know what? That there might be fine. So I might need to wrap this in a print. Exec plan hex 80 space. No, hex 80 falls outside the ASCII range. ASCII goes up to 7F. Hex 20 is space. Is that what we want? My plan. My plan. My pleasure. Oh, my brain's breaking. Python 3 minus C. That into hex dump. Match my quotes. Make that a double quote. Make that a double quote. 7A, 7A, 7A. EF, BF, BD. Yeah, so UTF-8 is actually, doing some crazy stuff to us. Our hex 18 looks fine. What if we just do it to ASCII and replace? We still get this EFBFBD noise. Ah, Latin 1, that does ring a bell. Thank you. Latin 1. ZZZZ. C2. What is C2? C2 shouldn't be in there, should it? That's the UTF-8 encoding of hex 80, the C2, yeah. You think that's alright? So Smash, if we pass this to request, do you reckon it will URL encode it nicely for us? Because if it does, then yeah, it should be alright. Reference here. What have we got? I don't think I don't think I can paste into my VM right now. Let me pull that up outside Twitch while I have a read. And by the way, yes, I will get the copy paste fixed before the next stream. So don't mind me while let's all take a minute to read what @Wolf just posted, by the way. Yeah, this article is very pro Latin 1. Of the source code. Yeah, get stuff, Barney. Maybe this will just work. Like, maybe this C280 requests will then URL encode that as %80 if we're lucky. So the new username, we will need to decode it as Latin 1. Smash says he's pretty sure we need hex 80 to be in there. Yeah, cool. I hope so too. I mean, we can dig into this as well if it doesn't work. Anyway. The length attempt in the range. Hash pump with the length attempt, get the new hash and the new username, and then we try to access. We do the wrong thing and we just smash that in the middle of our JSON string looking thing. Give it the new hash, and if that try access succeeds, we'll print the length. Let's run and see what happens. What's that? Does that get tacked on with the deprecation warning or what? Let's just print the length attempt every loop, and if it worked, we'll just print OK. I didn't see any OKs there. Dang it. Yeah, it looks like whatever this wheeze is part of the deprecation warning. Alright. I'm gonna go take a minute. We'll be back in a minute to dig into what might be going wrong, with one of those things being this isn't a padding extension attack. But anyway, I'm going to take a minute, take a breather, go get yourself an ice cream, a second ice cream for the evening, and we'll reconvene shortly. See you soon. And we're back. Sorry for blowing out everyone's earballs on those BRB music breaks. I will thank you, Wolf. I'll look into that after the stream. I'm thinking it might be worth seeing if we can introspect this request to have a look at which cookies it was sending to see if they look sensible. I think there's like a hacky way request Python verbose. I mean, actually, proxy. Let's proxy it through burp. Proxies equals proxies. We just give it a dictionary of HTTP and HTTPS. Cool. Where are we? So let's go proxy equals false. Let's go burp equals false. And down here, we will just go burp equals true. I know, Wolf. It used to be like, yeah, you used to have to like hack URL lib and do all sorts of awful stuff, didn't you? Now we do proxies equals a dictionary of, is it HTTP and HTTPS. Inside here we go away, HTTP colon whatever. Not what I wanted. And then we do if burp else, and for burp we do proxies equals proxies. Ooh, Wolf, SSL certificates. Good call. Bitcoin CTF. Pretty sure requests will respect the usual environment. Oh yeah, nice. Very good to know. Yeah, we need to trust this certificate for burp. Or just YOLO it. Because we're probably going to get... Oh no, we're doing HTTP. So SSL is not a problem. So let's just play. And in burp, yeah, there we go. We see all our wheeze. I was going to say that doesn't look good, but there's... Aha. Requests did not encode it for us. That's interesting. Requests didn't encode anything for us. Is that like legal for cookie colon that equals? It's probably not, is it? Let's have a look at the hex. So here's our ZZZZ 80, whole bunch of nulls. 05 78 Y. So a couple of things. First of all, we're lacking in URL encoding. Second of all, I don't like this 0578 necessarily. Wolf, it is weird how it rendered like that. Burp on Linux has been doing some weird stuff with fonts for me lately as well, which is why I had to change this font to a fixed with font earlier in the stream. I think we've got two problems. I don't necessarily like this 0578. That doesn't feel right to me, but I don't know. And we're getting 400s back as well. It's really unhappy with these cookies. So the very last one, where here's my YYYY 0818. Let's do this. inside try access, let's actually print our cookies. And does the last one have 0818? Ah, it does. Okay. Just didn't feel right to me, but the last one did have 0818. This all looks awesome to me, actually. That looks great. So thanks, Smash. You were right. This is being handled nicely. But our cookies need to be URL encoded. Python 3 URL encode. I think it's in URL lib. Yeah, there we go. URL lib.parse. Encode. URL encode. URL quoting, that sounds good. URL.parse.quote. Replace special characters in string using %xx. That's what we want. Grab that. I think we need to import URL lib.parse. And it's really just the session data that we need to encode, I believe. The hash we shouldn't need to. We probably should be for good measure, but anyway. Let's not print those cookies anymore. Let's keep on burping stuff and just see what this looks like. Are we seeing any OKs in here? Nope. Dang it. Maybe there's one hiding in amongst those double-digit letters, double-digit numbers. Nah, no OKs. But anyway, how's this looking in burp? We're getting 200s, that's good. Session data is, yeah, that's looking more sane. But we're never getting logged in. At least we're making forward progress, I think. So Smash, you're right. There could be a double quote hanging out in the winning one. To fix that, I'm going to just be an awful cheat and log in with 5 Zs. So 5 Zs, and we get a new hash, which should realign things so that we don't have a double quote where there used to be double quotes. Let's not print the length attempt anymore. Let's just print win. We don't need all that wheeze scrolling down the screen anymore. I'm pretty comfortable with how things are going. Let's try this. It's not looking good, is it? Alright, so what else could we be doing wrong? The secret could be longer than 256 bytes. That'd be a dick move. Make a secret of length 257 just to screw with anyone who's... Well, we're only going up to 255 anyway, but I mean, I wouldn't think the secret would be more than 255 bytes. Crazy idea. Import hash lib. How do you do hashes in Python? Hash lib dot hash lib. hashlib.hash, hashlib.char, help hashlib, hashlib.new, name of whatever we want, data being binary, smash even if longer. Yeah, probably. We probably don't even need to go up to 256. I don't know how big the block size is for SHA-256. Maybe it is 256 bytes. But yeah, you're right. You're probably right. I don't want to think too hard because my brain's already hurting from crypto nonsense. Hashlib.new. Hashlib. Is there like a SHA? What does that help say? Is there an example? Hashlib. SHA-256. So we can use this to just go and hash the text we're getting back to see if we ever get back different stuff. Print that r.text.encode that. Let's just run that. So the response we're getting from the server looks like it's never changing. We'll scroll back up and have a look at the top as well. Actually, you know what? Let's just sort unique -c sort -n. Wolf, couldn't you check the response code if you're getting a positive 200 back? Yeah, probably could. We're always getting 200s back though. You know, all these response codes are the same. The length looked the same. Okay, so we always got back the same text from the server. Yeah, got it, Wolf. Yeah, no, we fixed that glitch by just URL encoding the session data in the cookies. 64-byte block size for SHA-256. 64 bytes. 64 bytes. Yeah, so I think we're going too far with 256. Is that what you're agreeing with? Oh, noms. Wolf, what are for noms? I need some noms. Let's just check our try access logic. So if we print try access for a session data of this decoded because the function is doing encoding for us. My brain's breaking. Send to decoder, decode as URL, grab that. And our hash is this. Let's just comment out this loop here. Yeah, so true. So I'm pretty sure this function here is good. That's not our problem. Smash. Hang on, what do we got? Chinese beef stir fry. Nice. Sounds good. Sorry to cover something you've already looked at. Could you remind me what a normal session data looks like in Burp? Is it fully URL encoded like we've got there? I'd love to. So, Smash, first of all, we're not fully URL encoding our session data. There is some plain old username and Z's in here. Smash. Okay, great. Cool. Is there anything there, Smash? Were you thinking there could be some nonsense? Oh, okay, I confirmed it with the print and got the true back. Got it. Yeah. Yep. Thanks for that. So maybe this is actually a HMAC. Maybe it's not even hash padding attackable. Maybe it's not SHA-256. Maybe we're attacking the wrong thing. We're attacking just this slice in the middle of the JSON. Maybe the whole JSON is what's getting hashed. In which case, I don't know what we could actually even do to be exploiting it, because the server will try, if we were to attack that, we would have some real JSON, then we'd have a whole bunch of line noise, and then some more JSON, and the server would just not want to deserialize that anyway. Maybe. Maybe. Can someone from Elttam, if they're willing to expose themselves in the chat as being affiliated, or if someone knows more about this challenge than I do, can I get some confirmation that we're not supposed to see the source code? Can I get some confirmation that, I mean, I don't want to confirm whether hash padding is correct. I want to know, are we being shown everything that a participant would have seen if this was in a conference CTF? Is there a description? I mean, okay, actually, you know what? Let's read the description again for silver. Hack the container until you recover the flag. Crypto, medium. Yeah, so there's no description. Source wasn't provided. All right, thanks, Bitcoin. So, Bitcoin, has this already been... I read the tweet as... Oh, okay, so these CTF challenges actually got played. Got it. I kind of read this tweet as Elttam had them on ice, but no, these actually got played. Got it. Smash. If the server hashes username, then it has to be hashing an encoded version of it. Not necessarily. My mental model is that the application doesn't see the URL encoded version of cookies. Cookies get URL decoded kind of like quote unquote for free by kind of the machinery on the front end of the server. And what the application sees is a decoded version. UTF-8 encoded, not URL encoded. Okay. Well, Smash, we can go and log in with some crazy bytes, right? That might not fully answer your question or resolve your concern, but it might be interesting to do that. probably won't answer your question, but it's a good idea. ZZZZ, Y, log in. Let's grab this post. Actually, here's another fun trick. I like doing this through. Here's a freebie. Burp intruder. % add a marker, right? And we will fuzz it with a list of numbers, sequential from 1 to 255, hexadecimal, length of 2. And just go and throw all the percents at that login. So here we got... Oh, interesting. Session data in this case actually looks like ZZZZ %5C. Is that a backslash? Yeah, 5C is a backslash. U0001 Y. So there's actually JavaScript encoding going on in the middle here. Maybe that's what we need to reproduce. Bitcoin, need to tell. I don't think you do Bitcoin. I'm chucking %01s up at it, right? Because my configuration, the percent was outside the marker. Yeah, no, not for numbers, because I think it works like that. That will always be a real percent. And the marker is what gets numbers replaced. And you can see my request, I did throw a %01 up at the server. But this is interesting. So if we look at the length, actually, we can see 612 being the length for all those, whereas when we get to hex 08, we get %5CB in there. Let's take this %01 and send a repeater. So if we send that, we get this back. Let's log out over here. XXXXYYYY. Turn on intercept, log in. Let's go and put %01 in here. Turn intercept off. Send this to repeater, right? So here we've actually got that object here with the wax C. Whack U0001. I get this here. That there will be hex 01 in there. What if we just go and change this to %01? That's the sort of stuff we were sending up at the server. Aha! This might be our problem. We might need to be JavaScript encoding our stuff. What if we get rid of 2 of these zeros? I'm just curious now. Yeah, not logged in. All right. So this here actually needs to do a... No, it doesn't. This here needs to JavaScript encode the stuff that we're jamming in between the double quotes, which really, when we go and smash JSON together like children, that's what we should have been doing anyway, right? We should have been JavaScript encoding this here. And then this here will then URL encode it so that the \u becomes %5CU. So I think this here needs some JavaScript encoding. JavaScript encoding probably, by the way, isn't the right way to be doing it, but it's probably not the right terminology, I should say. If we json.dumps hex01, there we go. We actually get a real grown-up, we get the double quotes for free, and we get this \u stuff. Can we json.dumps? No, we can't do that. So Probably need to get rid of this double quote here. Actually, here's another thing we can do, by the way. So here we've got XXXXYY. We can see if this whole JSON stringified object is subject to hashing or if it's just the stuff in the middle by putting, so we've got double quote, username, double quote, colon in there. If we're going to put a space in there, that's still legal JSON. If we send that, oh dang it! What really? I wasn't wanting to see that. Maybe I do want to see that. Maybe that disproves our whole hash padding thing. Because we should, right? It's still legal JSON to do this. JSON.loads A B. We can put a space there. Yeah, that's still legal JSON, but our hash breaks, right? We should be able to put a space here as well, but the hash breaks. Has this completely destroyed any hopes we had of being able to hash extend this stuff in the middle here and manufacture new hashes? I think it has. Right? Because if we modify this in a way that retains the integrity of the original JSON once it's been deserialized, yeah, I think we should have probably played before we charged. All right, chat. Who here said we should charge ahead without playing more? Who said, Wolf, get out here, young man? Who else was it who said we should charge? Barney, you too. I think this has disproved the idea that this could be a hash extension attack. Oh yeah, Wolf, you just wanted me to do the hard one, so yeah, okay, yeah, you're fine. It's the rest of you. Barney, where are you? It could use sugar as well. No, find away the right hash. My username, Frank, I'm not sure what you're saying with the sugar. No way to find the right hash. Yeah, but this little bit I'm fiddling with here, if I go and just put spaces in, I mean, I should theoretically be able to %22A, %22 colon, %22B, %22. That's still... Yeah, my assumption that only the stuff inside the double quotes was subject to the hash algorithm meant that I should be able to fiddle with stuff outside that double quotes and retain the original hash, but I can't. Salt, yeah, got it, salt. Well, that's the thing, Frank. We're actually attacking using a hash padding attack. We assumed, or I assumed, that only the inside part of this JSON message was subject to basically poor man's HMAC, which looks like this. And even if we don't know the secret, which is what I think you're proposing the salt could be, we should be able to do a length extension attack to append all this line noise and then some attacker controlled text and still be able to calculate the hash using a hash padding attack. So yeah, I mean, there probably is a salt. Our assumption was we should be able to hash extend. Dang it. I mean, okay, I'm gonna call this not a hash padding attack. So rip the last hour and a bit of our lives. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. What else could this be if not a hash padding attack? And it better be something that's easy to solve because I want to go eat dinner. Yeah, Wolf, we've got all the mechanics in place to solve a different hash padding attack. Absolutely true. Storm, thank you very much. I'm glad you found it informative. I mean, Is this the type juggling 0E0 trick, or... Fusion Passenger. Is Fusion Passenger Ruby? I think you'd have to try pretty hard to make Ruby fall for the 0E0 trick. Yeah, we'll be right at Smash. It'll be something silly. Hey, we're not done yet, everyone. Let's not pack up. Let's think for at least a few more minutes about what this could be before we declare defeat and try again on another stream. Because if we do carve this out into another stream and I solve it, everyone's going to say, you read the source code offline. So can we solve this without going offline first? Let's have a think about what else. What other silly crypto tricks are there in CTF that we could try? There's the 0E0 trick, but I don't really know how we'd exploit that in this case. Barney, just take us on an IRL stream to dinner. Yeah, but I gotta cook and no one wants to watch that. No one wants to watch the disaster that is me trying to cook. Bitcoin is happy to answer. Yes. Okay. I appreciate that, Bitcoin. Should I ask Bitcoin if this is a hash padding attack? I guess I should, because I'm going to walk away from hash padding. So I think I've earned being able to ask, hey Bitcoin, is this a hash padding attack? Barney, no, I'm not. I'm in a different location right now. I've moved from not moved from Melbourne. I've fled from Melbourne to Brisbane, at least for a while, to weather the storm at the moment. Bitcoin, no, it is not a hash padding attack. Okay. Thank you for not telling me that sooner. I do appreciate you letting me run full steam ahead into that, but at the same time, now I feel very silly that you were sitting there. And thank you for your patience as well, watching me run down entirely the wrong path without saying anything and sticking with us. Thank you, Bitcoin. Fled has escaped. Yeah, virtually. I mean, I've temporarily displaced myself, is what I'm saying. I've got, family and friends up in Brisbane, so while this situation develops, I thought best to be around family and friends. Who knows how long all of this is going to go on for, am I right? Who knows how bad it's going to get before it gets better? And if it gets to the point where it's so bad that I can't get back... I've still got an apartment in Melbourne. If it gets to the point where I can't get back there, it's probably a point at which I'm going to be thankful for being around family. Even if we're social distancing, even if we're not hanging out, even if we're not socialising, just knowing they're down the road will be of comfort if this gets much worse before it gets better. What else could this be? Crypto. We can get the whack you syntax going on in here. Was there anything interesting in me spewing all these characters at it? Let's sort by length. Okay, so sending in a hex 80 gave me internal server error. In fact, sending in anything, looks like sending in anything above 7F, so anything outside the ASCII range, the server was giving me 500s with a content length of 404. All of these here were giving me things like plus, these all look pretty boring. Content length of 605 looks probably boring. I missed OJ. Oh, I do miss OJ, Barney. I'm not seeing OJ though. I'm taking my responsibility to socially distance very seriously, as I hope everyone on stream is. If we're going to get through this, we've all got to do our part, so the people on the front line can do their part. Let's all stay home, hey. Wolf, if this gets worse, you're glad you're far away from family. Not sure if that's a social distancing adherence or if that's you being away from your family, but fair enough. Yeah, let's all make sure we stay home, hey? Hashtag stay home game. Should be fairly easy for, I think, most people in this channel to be staying home. I know that home is where I like to be. Percent 22, we get backslash percent 22. Backslash, we get backslash backslash. Content length of 610. So I use Burp Intruder wrong somehow. I get all these weird double ups in this view, but anyway, whatever. So here's all of our whack U stuff. Content length 612. And that's it. Is this the level in which we realize we can do the square bracket syntax? Send a repeater, username, bracket, bracket. Yeah, not sure it helps us though, right? Void Zero? Hey, how's it going? Good to have you here. Linus Tech Tips. I was wondering if anyone was going to notice that it's Linus Tech Tips music. Yes, it is. And it had to go into my stream playlist when I found out that this is on Monster Cat. I thought that was quite cute. Brute force the hash for admin. Good idea. Wolf, you do it and let me know how it goes, alright? Smash. I think the key thing is we're not really registering here. We're able to we get given an arbitrary login primitive, but yeah, okay, I get you. A username with quotes or colons. We tried that. That was actually the solution for a previous level. The previous one was something like ZZZZ double quote comma username. No, it wasn't. It was just ZZ. It was actually admin. Double quote. Yeah, there we go. Foo ignore. That was a previous solution. Smash. So no, I don't think that'll work here. Quotes get escaped, and colons inside a quoted string will do us no good. All good, dude. All good. What else could it be? What else could it be? What else could it be? Can't do anything funky with curly boys here, can you? No, missing parameter. Thank you, Frank. They /r/ they did the math. Someone did the math. Thank you for that. Voizero, where am I from? Australia. Yeah, I will get cracking. You got a machine in a data center somewhere. You go and pump the heat into the hot oil for us. For a long time. Very cool, Void Zero. Nice to have you. Yeah, back when I was hanging out in Melbourne, I was invited to be part of the Brazilian group down there. I've got some really good friends in Melbourne who all hail from... There was a bunch of people that came over from Brazil almost all at once to work in security in Australia. A bunch of really, really good people. I do miss my Melbourne friends at the moment. Crypto, what could this be? I know, man, it's a struggle, isn't it? They're really good people. I'm looking forward to having a cool beer with them when all this blows over. Any ideas from anyone in the chat? What else could this be aside from brute forcing? Yeah, do it, dude. There's a bunch of really friendly folks in Melbourne. Get amongst them. Crypto. This is gonna really do my head in. Silver. I mean, we've read this description. There's nothing here to help us, is there? Did I run Nmap? No, I did not. But Frank, these are all Docker containers, and you're told to run them with publish 8080. So, and it does say previous challenges said they're web challenges. So I'm pretty certain that given this publish 8080 trick, it is a Docker container running just a web server, and it's just a web app challenge. Good thought though, really good thought. Yeah, I will for sure. Let's catch up. I'm not even staring at the right thing to be staring at something. I should be staring at this, shouldn't I? Cool idea. A Docker container as a challenge, then nobody could hack you while you hack the target. I've seen a lot of really cool use of Docker in CTFs. I've seen CTFs where basically each time you touch the challenge, it spins up a whole new Docker container for you to attack. It was used really nicely at RuxCon a few years ago for some like Unix challenges where you actually got a shell and had to locally exploit the box. And every time you, I think, either SSH to it or I think it was SSH, every time you SSH to it, it would basically stand up a whole new machine for you so that your local Prevesk attack payloads wouldn't be sitting around in /10 for other people to stumble upon. And you kind of knew you had your machine and you could just go hell for leather without having to be stealthy, without having to worry about stepping on other teams' toes. It was a really nice setup. Wolf, is the session hash something built into the library running the code? Could there be some crypto-based exploits built into it? Maybe. Session data, session hash. I mean, I wouldn't think this would be a use a CVE type challenge. Session data, session hash. Don't need that G there. Mojolicious Perl extension. Django? Nothing's jumping out at me as being like, oh yes, it's definitely using this framework. Right, Wolf, could there be like security ergonomics concerns? Got it. Pico is terrible. You can even see all the other users' IP addresses. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Smash, out of curiosity, did the previous challenges? Yes, they did. Smash, I was thinking maybe we could have used previous challenges as an oracle. But A, I think that if that was possible would be cheese. B, the same username on a previous challenge given to this challenge, we got different hashes. So I think there's different secrets per challenge. Okay, Bitcoin. Question number 2. Would it, even if it was possible and did something, would it be considered cheating to use a different challenge as an oracle to produce a hash, or in any way use another challenge to give us something to solve this challenge with. Would it be cheese or cheating to cross the streams like that? I'm guessing that the intent is these are all standalone and you shouldn't really use one challenge's vulnerability to abuse or compromise a separate challenge. Should you be using two challenges at once? I'm guessing you're saying no, you should not use another challenge to exploit another challenge. Would be cheese, thank you. So even if it works, we're not going to do it. That's unintended. There is a bug here we don't know about. We need to find it. And I think we're going to go for about 15 more minutes before we pack it in. So let's put a time limit on this. 15 minutes. What can we do with 15 minutes? If within 15 minutes we feel like we're on the trail of something that could work, we'll stick through for another little while. But if we're still just dead in the water in 15 minutes, I'm going to pack up and go home. But I am home, correct, Atwolf. I guess we're doing this all night. If everyone's cool to do this all night, we're doing this all night. No, we're not. "24-hour stream." That would be interesting. It'd be cool though to do like a 24-hour tag team stream. I'd definitely do like the 3 a.m. slot and pull the short straw if we could get 24 people. Actually, 1 hour's not enough. 3 hours. What's 24 on 3? 8. 8 people, 3 hours each. We could cover the 24 hours. I reckon that'd be fun. Smash. Forgive the latecomer. I absolutely will forgive the latecomer. No problem at all. What did we observe when trying various kinds of characters in that login? I think you're talking about this intruder here. It's a bit of a mess, but like sending %80 in the middle, sandwiched between some Z's and some Y's, we got a 500. And that happens for everything greater than or equal to hex 80. When we do %20, right there, we get a plus. Double quotes, backslash. Easier to show that here. ZZZZ, double quote, YYYY. %5C, %22, so whack double quote. Backslash, ZZZZ, backslash, YYYY. Gave us whack whack. Given that we probably assume it decodes to ASCII or UTF-8 and the server isn't liking the decode, I like where you're going with this. Keep going. Oh. Hold on. Is this the uppercase, lowercase y trick? ADM, capital I-N. Welcome, ADM, capital I-N. Probably not, is it? It's probably not the Unicode I trick that Louis was banging on about this last week. Pentester Lab blog. Let's just throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. I mean, this doesn't feel like crypto though, this feels like web. Tip, the solution seems to be in the session hash. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Serializing me? Sorry, I should be wearing glasses to be honest, but... Smash, can we do some other... Sorry, serializing me, what do you mean the solution seems to be in the session hash? If you're saying we need to manufacture a valid hash, I totally agree. I mean, we haven't tried fuzzing this parameter yet, but I don't think that would do us any good. I can't imagine playing with this would help. We can park that, we can come back to it. Pentester Lab /I considered harmful. So what it came down to was Latin small I, small lettered dotless I in place of the I. It's this little boy here, it's this funny looking I here, in a case insensitive sense, sometimes matches lowercase regular I. It's a long shot. What if we just grab this I here and log in as ADM funny I N. And Turkish I, yeah. Smash, you had the same idea, didn't you? I don't think it helps us, does it? Could try again with dotted capital I. We're really getting desperate now, aren't we? What is the dotted capital I? Serializing me. So I think the authentication depends on how the session hash is created. Tip: the hashes might not be salted. I think we tried that for this challenge. Yeah, we were doing all sorts of attempts here to try to get the hash. We were trying username equals password SHA-256. We were trying the actual JSON SHA-256, and nothing ended up matching this here with a username of password. All good. Thank you. That is a good idea. And thank you for sharing. Late to the party. Yeah, we've been stuck on this one for a little while now, so I totally forgive anyone who's popped in and has missed the failed attempts to date. They may be using HMAC. Yeah, I mean, they should be using HMAC. Am I right? They shouldn't be using the poor man's HMAC. I'd say this is a HMAC. I'm not sure if it's a HMAC. Actually, you know what? I'm pretty sure it's a HMAC over this entire JSON object. It's not a HMAC over the stuff in the middle. We did kind of determine that by trying to put in some white space characters in between stuff inside the JSON. The hash was breaking. It's in the silver container, my username Frank. By the way, if anyone's reading source code, please don't try and steer me towards anything based on a reading of the source code. We're kind of working with everyone helping in chat. Hopefully we're all doing it blind together. Don't go reading the source code and then steering conversations towards the right answers. That's a bit lame. Yeah, for sure. Grab it. Feel free to read the source code, by the way, and spoil it for yourself if you'd like to. Just please don't spoil it for the rest of us. Jot HMAC stuff. Brute force HMAC SHA-256. Again, I can't copy paste this into my VM, so I'm going to read this outside the VM. If everyone wants to read what @Wolf just posted, let's all have a read together offline, but I just can't open it up in the VM at the moment, sorry. Right, okay, so it's doing offline brute forcing of jots. It won't be that @Wolf because this isn't a jot. That is just JSON, and that's like a detached hash. If this was a jot, we'd be going down the road of all the old jot attacks, like the none algorithm type and stuff. But this isn't a jot. I mean, we could, if we wanted to take a stab and go, this is poor man's HMAC SHA-256, or this is HMAC SHA-256, we totally could do an offline brute force. Given this plain text, given an unknown key, given this hash, we could brute force for the key. I don't think that would be the challenge. That would be incredibly lame to do that. Especially because there's so many unknown variables there about what algorithm is it. Is it poor man's HMAC 256? Is it HMAC 256? If we were given a real jot, maybe an offline brute force would be reasonable, because there'd be fixed parameters we could, but there'd just be too much guessing, and to add a brute force on top of that would be quite mean. So I don't think it's going to be that. Yeah, Tom K, JWT, I pronounce it jot. Maybe that's like not really meant to be what you do. A lot of people do it. So if you ever, okay, so there was one day where I heard someone say put a jot there, and I was like, yes, gladly. Overhearing kind of in an architectural discussion, and it took me kind of a few hours to be like, oh, yes, JWT. I totally understand what they said now. I was too embarrassed to say, excuse me, what's a jot? I knew what a JWT was, but that was the day that I found out that JWT is pronounced jot. Okay, it is actually a thing, Tom K. Cool, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was something that everyone like just made up quietly and agreed on, or if it was official. Oh, we've got to be coming up on that 15 minutes that I can justify leaving, right? I don't think we're going to get this. If it's HMAC, could you need to be brute forcing a small key space? Well, yeah. Atwolf, it would depend on the length and complexity of the HMAC secret, which if it is within a small key space, you're correct, but we don't really know which key space it would be in. Smash, what did we see with that Whack U 20? I don't think we ever saw Whack U 20. Maybe I'm wrong, because 20 came out as plus. But like with, I think it was Percento 1, we saw some funkiness. Yeah, so here's your Whack U stuff in here. So let's decode this. That there is like, I think it's JavaScript encoding. I'm not sure who owns that type of encoding, but if we import JSON and do a JSON.loads on that, what? Why is this breaking? I'm pretty sure you can just dump it into the F12 console in lieu of Python wanting to take it. Allow pasting. Yeah, it's console.log. Yeah, so you can see there you get the question mark of doom. So that's like JavaScript encoding. Were these challenges at B-Sides Canberra a couple of years ago? I remember seeing these damn birds somewhere. Tom K, yes, I believe. I don't know which B-Sides. In fact, I don't know if it was B-Sides Canberra, but Elttam said it was for B-Sides Canberra and Brucon some years back. So you're probably not going crazy. You probably did see these birds everywhere somewhere else. Smash. What if we sent whackU003A in our username, or whackU0022? The thing is, our whacks are getting encoded as whack whack. Let me show you. So if we log out and log in as AAAA whack BBBB, I'll get to the meat of what you're saying in a second, but we'll just use this as an example. Decode that. You can see there's whack whack in the middle of there, right? So now if we were to, and I know you know the smash, but just for clearness, AAAA, what did you want? Whack U 0022 BBBB. Proxy. Let's grab that. There'll be whack whack in here, so it won't actually be taking it as a double quote. It says whack whack U in there, so the whacks cancel. Smash said could be escaping double quotes at the wrong point. Oh, okay, could be escaping double quotes at the wrong point. Maybe that would be very, very strange for anything to see this and let me put double quotes in there. And based on the fact that we get a welcome message with our name nicely formatted there, I don't think so. Yeah, cool. Okay, one more for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, question number 1. Is there any local brute forcing required? What I'm thinking when I say that is local brute forcing of a secret that lets me replicate this hash offline given this input. Question number... I'll let you answer the first one. Is there local brute forcing involved? Okay, interesting. Lame. If this is guess the poor man's HMAC secret or guess the HMAC secret, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, all right then. Okay, all right. Do we think it's poor man's HMAC or do we think it's real HMAC? We could probably find that out by trying to hash pad this whole thing against the server. Why not both? We could probably find out if it's poor man's HMAC by trying to brute force the secret length against the server, and that would actually give us the secret length as well. I think that... Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Let's... Alright, we're gonna have to put a lid on this eventually. But let's just see if we can get a really quick breakthrough. If we can't, oh well. Let's try this busy for loop again. Let's get some fresh values that we can hash pump with. It's a crypto challenge plus fusion, aka Ruby taking into consideration the flaws with session handling they had in the past. Yeah, serializing. We might revisit that idea. I'm going to do some... Okay, tell you what, I'm going to do some dumb and lazy brute forcing offline. And if we don't get quick traction, I'm just going to call it a night. We can think next time about session handling flaws. Wolf, very similar Vim setup to OJ. In what way, Wolf, are you talking about like my relative line numbers? Because my Vim is fairly vanilla otherwise. I'm not sure what OJ and I would be similar with, but these relative line numbers are awesome. Let's get some new hash pumpable values. Let's move this intruder off to window, T-mark, the i3 workspace form. Get rid of him. We might want him later though. Username, ZZZZ. Alright, here's my hash. Copy that guy. I'm gonna do some hash pumping with that. With my message being, I'm going to URL decode this and use that as my message. Line numbers and the spacing and some of the colors. I think that, yeah, the colors are pretty standard. Although, don't know. Maybe that's more my, I think the colors are more of a function of my shell. Or even my terminal emulator, maybe? I think it's my terminal emulator. X resources. Actually, no, there's stuff in X resources I don't want to share. Glad I caught myself there. Cool, yeah. Yeah, the line numbers, spacing, some of the colors. Yeah, I think the spacing's pretty standard. I mean, I've got this little guy here that tells me these red little indicators tell me when I've hit 80 characters, I think, then 120 characters. It really yells at me to go, hey, put some line breaks in, you moron. But yeah, cool. Let's hash pump with the decoded version of this. Decode as URL. Copy that guy. Trying to append some Ys. Do a length attempt up to 256. You know what? I'm gonna bring out this hash lib of the text again, because we might get some 500s or something when illegal JSON tries to be deserialized. Let's get rid of that. Let's play with this. Sort unique minus C, sort N. Men's, okay. I probably didn't explain that very well. I'm using hash pump again. Bitcoin said there's some local brute forcing involved. So now I want to know, is this a poor man's HMAC or is this a HMAC? So I just tried to hash pump across, instead of hash pumping across the inner bit here, I hash pumped across the whole URL decoded session data. And if I got any weird behavior out of the server indicating any hash pumping was successful, it would A, reveal the length of the secret we need to brute force, and B, it would reveal that we're using poor man's HMAC. For secrets up to length 256, I got no differing behavior out of the server when I hash pumped. I think I need to fix some stuff here. So new username. Yeah, I need to get rid of this guff here, I think. Barney, did I have a secret length of 0? I did. Range 256 has 0 in it. Okay, no difference out of the server. I was burping that, so let's see what I was sending. So I was sending session data is that, session hash being E2 whatever. So if we decode this, I was sending, the original JSON from 7B up to 7D. What is C2? I don't like those C2s. I don't like those. They shouldn't be there for this type of attack. Turns out our hash pumping may have been broken all along. Because those C2s shouldn't be there, am I right? Print new username. Yeah, those C2s shouldn't be there. Scoundrels. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to hash pump to see if we can figure out this is poor man's HMAC, because there's one less thing to brute force offline. The web server expects UTF-8, so I suspect if we sent it without the C2 it'll error. Really? You reckon? So you're saying that this actually is okay? If we, so let's send that. We get 200 with no login. Get rid of that C2. We still get 200. Well, if it was erroring, it was, but that's, I think it was erroring when I wasn't URL encoding it at all. I'm getting fed up now. What if we just, where are my C2s at? Oh, is the URL encoding bringing it in? There it is. So the URL encoding is probably doing the right thing. I don't think we want it to do the right thing. I think we want raw binary data. I don't think we want polite Unicode data, but I don't know. I just don't know. What does urllib.parse.quote look like? Is there a thing we can use to tell it don't be smart? I mean, maybe that's not something we should be doing anyway. Encoding equals Latin 1? Encoding equals Latin 1, the YOLO encoding. That looks better. I don't know, but my gut says we don't want C2 being sent up to the server. We want just raw binary data. So quote it with encoding being Latin 1. I don't think we want that anymore. Now let's sort unique -c sort -n. Let's see if we get more than one hash in here. We don't. So I don't think it's, I mean, unless I'm screwing something up with this hash pump, I don't think it's a poor man's HMAC. Okay. what does Python HMAC look like? We'll try a quick brute force of proper HMAC. And if it doesn't work, let's go get some food, hey? Import HMAC. HMAC.new key message digest mode. HMAC.digest. I like the digest better than the new. What is digest allowed to be? Is it a string or is it a hashing object? Would it kill you to give an example, Python? hashlib.char256. I like that. Print hmac.digest. What do we need to give it? The key, the message, and the digest mode. hashlib.char256. What does it want? Do things need to be bytes? You can tell I'm fading. Nope. There we go. Okay, so how do we get a hex digest out of there? Is this, what is it, returning a byte string? Yeah. Probably want to leave it as a byte string, don't we? Anyway, ZZZZ. Decoder. Let's grab this like that. Message original equals that. Hash original equals that. Now I want to break that into, I want to basically blow that apart into like hex, basically, like real bytes. I kind of liked actually something that was on this. Something in here looked right to me. binasky.unhexlify. Yeah, I like that. Word list equals secret password for word in word list. Print that equals hash orig. Now the key, I think, is the first argument, and the message is the second. So we'll take the message orig, delete to the comma. Alright, so we don't want to go and put this encoding inside the loop. So outside the loop, message original is the JSON encoded as UTF-8, so we get bytes. The original hash is we unpack that as hex. And then this is our word list. We'll replace that with a real word list in a minute. For word in word list, if that equals that, print the word. Okay, so instead of this, I think we want a real word list. And look, it probably makes no sense at all to be brute forcing stuff in Python, but I didn't want to bust out the hash code. I just wanted to see if we get a quick win in some well-known dictionary and then go home. F equals open. Where are my word lists? Opt, security lists. What have we got? Passwords. Dark code. We'll go dark code, then we'll go rock you. So we'll open that file. Readable. For word in, I think we can do what f.readline. Python 3, f equals open. So I think read lines gives us a list, yeah. I mean, I don't know if we want to do a read lines here, but we probably want to get a generator that does it lazily, but anyway, whatever. Let's just check to make sure this loop is kicking off nicely. Yeah, the loop is kicking off nicely. Aha, there's new lines at the end of each line. So we probably want to do word.rstrip. There we go. Thank you, Smash. So word.rstrip.encode. And we'll leave this run for about a minute and then we'll kill it and move on to a different word list. While that runs, import hmac, import hash lib, print hmac.digest of the key being password, which I'm sure shows up in dark code. The message being, let's just go and throw an, that brute force finished. Let's throw an easy win to our brute forcer to make sure it's actually working. Let's just quickly hash orig equals this. And let's see if our brute forcer finds that password was the secret for this example. Surely password appears pretty soon in dark code. Yep, there we go. So our brute forcer is working, provided it is a hmac SHA-256, and provided this is actually an intelligent production of a hmac and the server's doing something similar. Let's comment that out there. Let's bring the original hash back in. Let's try a different word list. Opt sec lists passwords. What do we do next? Rock you. I think dark code and rock you are the popular CTF word list. I'm fading. If this doesn't work, we're going. rocku.text.tar.gz. tar x. Let's change to /temp that file there. Temp rocku. Yep, cool. We've got rocku unpacked. Okay, something wrong with rocku. My brute force doesn't want to read it. Thomas Bra, you are Australian. Indeed I am. I am Australian, born and bred and raised and still here. Word.encode Latin 1. I mean, I hope Elttam didn't put Unicode characters in their secret. Let's just YOLO encode it. UTF-8 is unhappy with what? Does read lines take an encoding? Python 3 read lines. Smash. Thank you. Read the file RB to get raw bytes. Good call. Let's go back to UTF-8 and not YOLO encoder anymore. Read bytes. Thank you. What? Bytes has no encode. What's it blowing up on now? Okay, so it's taking forever to actually read the file in, and it's blowing up on the first one. So bytes has no encode. So we just don't need to encode it anymore. So when you RB, you get bytes, so you should need to encode. Yep. Agreed. Can we still strip of bytes? I think we can, can't we? BAA.R strip. And we put a space and a new line on. Yeah, we can still strip of bytes. Have I been to North New South Wales lately, Barney? No, not lately. It's been a while since I was hanging out in that neck of the woods. We good? Nope, we're not good. I totally broke something there. Delete to comma. That looks better. What? What? Is it an empty secret, is it? Who said before? Barney, was it you who said, are you including 0 in your length attempts? I think someone read the source code and was trying to help out, so thank you. Yes, I was, and good tip. I think it's a 0 length secret. Didn't know you could have that, so okay. From, so import hmac, import hash lib, hmac.digest, the key, empty string. Let's go with that. Message original, admin binary string hash lib.sha256 import bin ASCII. So can we just print bin ASCII.hexlify? Tom K, yeah, I did. But back when we were doing range 256, we were making the assumption that the server was doing poor man's HMAC, which it wasn't. It was doing HMAC with a 0 length string. So yeah, we were including 0 in the range. But whatever, what was that called? What was my brain is fried. Vim play. Go away. Open read only. Hash pump. Hash pump doesn't work against HMAC. Only works against poor man's HMAC. Is this the solution? Is that it? Are we done? Can we go? Let's log out. Let's log in as adme. Send a repeater. Make it admin. Paste the session hash. No, it's not it. Of course it's not it. Because we have to... The message looks like this. It doesn't just look like admin. Make that single quotes. Make it admin. Right, so a HMAC over the whole thing, which is what we were doing up here. This is the hash. And we're done. Wow. Wow. HMAC with a empty key. Thank you, Bitcoin. Thank you, Menz. Thank you, Barney. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with me. That was a... How long have we been going for? Almost 4 hours. And we spent almost the entire time on this, I think. We spent almost the entire time chasing the hash pump dragon, trying to hash pad something that... we were only hash pumping the middle bit. We weren't hash pumping the whole thing. And it wasn't even pumpable because it's a real HMAC. And I was thinking... Remember I thought... Asking someone to do an offline brute force with too many unknowns, like you don't know if it's a actual HMAC, you don't know if it's poor man's HMAC, you don't know if just the inside the username's being hashed, you don't know if the whole thing's being hashed. That's a dick move to expect you to brute force with so many unknowns. It becomes more reasonable when I did the trick where I put a white space in to the JSON that doesn't affect the actual message and sent it and everything, it broke. That tells me it's over the whole message. And then trying to hash pump the whole message and getting no hits made me go, it's a real HMAC. So it's a reasonable challenge. Especially because I guess the fact that it's an empty HMAC secret makes it cute. And I'm so glad that Bitcoin, thank you, you made the right call. When I said, is there an offline brute force? You could have been like, well, not really brute forcing when you should be trying an empty HMAC secret anyway. So good answer. The yes to the offline brute force is appreciated because yeah, I had to brute force. I didn't even think to do empty string, and empty string is not in dark code, right? It wasn't till I saw, it wasn't till we got to, and oh man, where are we? Where did I run this? Here. You know, like, so Rockyu actually does look like it has just a line with a new line, an empty line. It's also got some lines with some white space, and I was doing an R strip here, but I wasn't doing an R strip there. If I'd done an R strip in here, I reckon things would have looked really confusing. So I'm kind of glad I didn't, because once I saw this, I was like, oh, all of those are going to R strip down to empty string. Quit. Run the brute force. So I'm glad I wasn't. Oh, okay, no, look, that looks nice. I would have immediately gone, oh, empty secret. So that wasn't a win by fail. That was a win regardless. Cool challenge. I like it. I mean, I'm salty that it was an offline brute force and I spent a long time chasing the hash padding dragon, but look, we got there in the end. We did it. And I can't be accused of going to read the source code. I think if anyone was to say, you read the source code and then played along for an hour and a half, yeah, sure, okay, but I'm happy with that. So, men's hash pump is great. First time I've seen hash pumpy. Yeah, I mean, I love it. And the cool thing is it's written in C for speed, but there's Python bindings there so you can reach out to it from your nice little play around and Python script your way to success environment. There was some numpty that clearly had read the code when they came straight to hashmac. You calling me a numpty that went straight to hashmac, thus read the code? Because I spent a long time going poor man's hmac, so you can't say I went straight to hmac. I went the long way to hmac. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around. Thanks for your banter. Thanks for your help. Thanks for your encouragement. I'm going to go enjoy a well-earned bent spoke, how's it goes and goes up beer, and make myself some dinner. So, Atwolf said, if it's HMAC, could you just be needing to brute force a small key space? I had to brute force the smallest key space you could possibly have to brute force. Atwolf would have tried it, yeah. We got there in the end. I'm happy with that. So thank you, Bitcoin, as well. It was so good to have Bitcoin. If you weren't here, then I think I would have just table flipped. But to know that there was someone to kind of give me the nudges was much appreciated. So Tom K, I will thank you, everyone, and I will catch you around. Peace out.